morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're watching this. I hope that time is wonderful. If you're new here, karibu sana. If you have not subscribed, please do so by clicking the subscribe button. Please like and share, and don't forget to tell a friend to tell a friend. So far we are at 380 subscribers. Please get this mama triplet to 500, and by sharing, by telling a friend and reminding them to subscribe. And you who's watching who hasn't subscribed, please do so. Just click on the subscribe button. I am really humbled by those who subscribe. Thank you so much. So today we'll be talking about my delivery. And first, before we talk about my delivery, let me talk about NHIF. So if you are a mom who is expecting multiples, even any Kenyan, please out there, update your NHIF status. It is very important. If you do not work or you do not have an employer, it's 500 a month. It is not that bad, but it really saves. Like for me, I am a faithful, after my triplets, I am a faithful NHIF payer since then, because it really helped me a lot, because I did not have any other insurance. I was only depending on NHIF and cash. That was it, and I was expecting triplets. For moms, I think most of the hospitals, NHIF will only cover the bed, which is 4,000 a day. But so far, when I was at the hospital, I delivered in September last year. So when I was at the hospital, they changed the NHIF, and from October, NHIF was covering everything maternity. So yeah, that is at Kijabe Hospital, Mission Hospital. NHIF was covering. I don't know if it has changed, but it actually changed from 1st October 2019. They started covering everything maternity. But when I was there, they only covered for my bed, because I went there before October 1st. Yes, so that's why. And I delivered for October. So for me, it only covered bed. That was for 4 days. That was for 16,000 Kenya shillings. But for my babies, it really helped. The bill was not that huge, and the bill was not that little, but NHIF is so generous when it comes to babies. So it really helped me as an individual, because I did not have any other insurance cover. So out there, please update your NHIF covers. You only pay 6,000 a year, so you can, or 500 a month. So it's really a good deal if when it comes to the health of your baby and your delivery. So so for me, I scheduled my CS when I was 30 weeks. Reason being, I schedule a date when I turned 35 weeks. That's when I was to deliver. So I booked an appointment for my delivery when I was 30 weeks. So which means that Kijabe Hospital was aware that I'm coming in on such a particular date for my C-section. So they were ready for me and my triplets. So pre-book in advance if the hospital requires you to, in case it's an emergency. 2, why I booked 35 weeks. My firstborn was yet to turn 2, because he turned 2 a month after I delivered. So the doctors were afraid, because it was less than 2 years, and yet I was carrying multiples, so it was kind of risky. They were avoiding uterus rupture. So that's one reason that we had to book. They were actually requesting if I should book at 32 weeks, and I said no. I will try my best to push to 35 weeks unless an emergency happens. So I will come in before 35. But if there was no emergency, let's go to 35 weeks. And another reason why we scheduled for C-section of my 35 weeks, 2 of my triplets, according to the scan, they were sharing a placenta, which means they were sharing the blood flow, they were sharing all the nutrients. Sometimes it is so risky when 2 babies are sharing a placenta, because it might happen that one baby is getting more nutrients, more blood compared to the other one. So this one baby might be gaining at a very high rate, while the other one is not gaining any, or he's a slow gainer because of this issue. Or it might be happen both of them are okay. It might be maybe the one gaining is gaining okay, the other one gaining is not gaining enough. So my doctor recommended that we schedule a CS earlier, because when they were checking the scans, my baby were doing fine. But you don't know, because we were past due date. According to Triplets, we were past due date, which is 32 weeks. So I kept doing the scans, so that we were able to know how are the babies growing, is the sharing affecting any of them, and so on. So when your babies are sharing a placenta, if you're having twins or multiples, please keep doing scans and watching on their growth, because it is very risky. So that's another reason we scheduled, because two of my babies in the scan seemed that they were sharing a placenta. And so what happened? We left here at around 12:30 to Kijabe. Kijabe takes 2 hours from where we are. 2:30 to Kijabe using the back road. And so I checked in, I think on a Tuesday or Wednesday. I don't remember the exact date, but I went in on 18th, so that they can prep me for the following day C-section, and so that I be put in the program for the next day, or in the theater, people going to theater the following day. So we left here. I reached Kijabe at around let's say 2 o'clock. We did all the pre-booking, the going to the ward, all those things that we need. Going to the hospital. The Kijabe, actually, they will give you a basin. They will give you most of the things the baby need, like the first days of life. You have to carry your own diapers. You don't need to carry shawls. You will need them when you're leaving the hospital. But if your babies end up going to the nursery, like when mine went to the nursery, so we did not need. They provide their own beddings for the babies in the nursery. You're not allowed to give that, to have them go with your own, like the ones you carry, because they wash and the babies are changed. And they provide sanitary pads, but I carried mine. And they provide a lot of things, which is cut from your bill. The food there, we ate a lot of rice and lentils. Michele and dengu. That was the order of the day. And but I think it helped, because my milk could not come out ASAP, but it took a while. So yeah. So what happened when we went in on 18th? We finished everything, the down payment for nursery, because we also had to give. I think my husband had to pay my down payment for around, if I'm not wrong, 50,000 Kenya shillings, and a down payment for my baby, which was 150 Kenya shillings. Yes, 150 Kenya shillings. 150,000 Kenya shillings, and for me it was 50,000. So in total, that particular day we paid 200,000 Kenya shillings for the down payment. If the bill was gonna be less, then we'll have to return the money. So it's just to show your commitment. So we ended up paying that. We were booked in, and then the day of delivery, which was the following day, I think I was supposed to be the first one to go to theater. But then an emergency happened. I was supposed to go to theater at around 8, actually not even 9, 8, because no, I think I was supposed to go earlier than 8. I was supposed to go around 7, 8, and then this nurse comes in, preps me with everything, ready to go to theater, and boom, the emergency happened. They had no theater open for me, and so I had to wait. So I waited until I told the nurse, you know what, just take me back to my cubicle. If you guys are ready for me, you'll come get me. So I went back. My husband arrived on time. So yeah, we stayed there, we chatted, but I was not allowed to eat. So they end up giving me glucose water. So because I had to wait, I think it was glucose. I don't know how they call it, but I call it glucose water, because it makes you not feel the hunger pangs. They gave me the glucose water, so we had to wait. So I was wheeled into theater at around 1, 12:01, got prepped, and yeah, everything was fine. I'm telling you, the room was so full. The room was full of people. I think because Kijabe is our teaching hospital too, which is fine by me. I did not have, because they're learning too. By the end of the day, they're the ones who are going. They're our new future. The kids who are learning. They're our new generation. The new future, something like that. So yeah, that was fine by me. The hospital was so full. Like each of my baby had pediatric doctor and a team of nurses. So they were so, I think also because of me having triplets, most people also wanted to see how is this happening and all that. And then the team of, because each baby is considered as an individual, so each baby had a team of his own or our own care. So there was a pediatrician and the nurses for that particular baby, baby A, baby B, baby C. So that's why we ended up having, and then there's theater staff people, there's the anesthesiology, whatever you call yeah. And yeah, so we ended up having a lot of people in that room. I'm telling you, you will not, like, there was a lot of people. And another thing about Kijabe, they trust in God and they pray. Before they began my procedure, they all put their tools down and a word of prayer was said to God. That was so, I don't know how to say it. That was so, it made me feel very comfortable, because everything is God. We cannot control anything, and we believe and trust in the living God. So when even the doctors who were operating on you, the nurses, everybody in that room went quiet and said a word of prayer for this procedure, I don't know, I think I teared a little bit, like almost doing now, because it showed me confidence. It gave me confidence. It gave me hope that for sure I will come out of this victorious, because there's a living God up there. So that's one thing that I loved about Kijabe too. It made me feel contented. It made me feel comfortable at that particular time. So they went in, they cut me, and my baby A came out, my baby B came out, my baby C came out. And yeah, I think I will insert picture. So here is the baby A, and yeah, he cried. He cried on the dot. He did not waste the time. And then baby B came out. She cried too. And then my baby C came out. My baby C took time. My baby C took time to cry. She actually waited up, and they gave me the half, and she did not just scream. What happened is, she did not just scream. They had, I think, when they removed her, she was upside down, and so that's why. So they had to wipe her up, suck out the blood, whatever, so that she can cry. But eventually she did. It looked like forever, but I was told it did not even take a minute or two. She cried, and after my third baby cried, my baby C cried, I was off. I'm telling you, I just poofed it, and yeah, that was it. And that's how my delivery was that easy and that fast. Like, oh, and again, I had to remind the doctor to remove my cervical stitching down there, because they are not the ones who did it. So I kept reminding them, please don't forget to remove the cervical stitch. Don't forget to remove the cervical stitch. Yeah, I kept reminding them to do that. So my delivery was quick, simple. All my babies cried, and I thank God for that. It was so emotional. me hearing their cries. It was so emotional. Anyway, if you have not subscribed, please do so by clicking the subscribe button. Please click on the notification bell so that you can get notified anytime I upload a new video. Like, share, and don't forget to tell a friend to tell a friend. Let's reach to 500 subscribers. I am so grateful. Wait for my next vlog. We will be talking about babies individually, what they weigh, the sex, and you will get to meet them one by one before we meet the whole gang. Yeah, so our next vlog we will talk about my triplet A and B, C, and yeah, if you have any question, please comment down below and feel free to ask any. I will be readily available to answer. Thank you so much, and bye bye, and have a wonderful time.